Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho.
And when you're down here with me, you float down!
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Friday the 14th podcast. I am the bad guy, Nick H. The Archer is silent.
Hi, and I'm Mr. Fuentes. You can say my whole name. None of it's silent.
Senor Fuentes. That's how you say it.
Or Senor Fountains.
Fountains?
The
That's
golden
what
fountain?
A fuente. A fuente is a fountain, so Fuentes must be multiple fountains.
And I'm Juan. Thanks for having me again, guys. Looking forward to this conversation on
You are the real one.
I was about to say, that's not Juan, man. That's the real Juan.
He's butchering his own name.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hey, that's about
Did
to be
you guys-
coming out soon.
Did you guys see the trailer?
No.
I just saw it like 30 minutes ago.
Nice, yeah. It's pretty good. Gave me some
It looked
goosebumps.
like he's going to run for like 6 episodes and then fight in the final one.
Probably.
Let's find the final one.
Fight
He's
the
not getting
final
paid
one.
enough for it.
The final one.
The final
The
one.
final one. The one.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Yes, every
boy.
week.
A good
Dude,
week.
like, I literally was like, all week long, like Monday, I was like, is it Wednesday? And I was like, oh, okay, no, the podcast isn't until Wednesday. And then yesterday, I was like, is it Wednesday? I was all yelling at my employees, like, is it Wednesday? And they're like, no, it's Tuesday. Like, oh, why is this week going by so slow?
They probably told you to take your damn medicine.
They're like,
You
did you
forget
take your
what day it
medicine
is.
this morning? You're like, no.
Wednesday. Hump day.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
You know, it's Wednesday. You know what that means?
Hump day?
That's exactly what it is.
Margarita day?
Margarita Wednesday. Yeah, but
So-
honestly, I don't know why. I feel like it was like forever ago since we did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for some reason. I felt like it was 3 weeks ago, not 2 weeks ago. I don't know why.
Texas.
Usually it feels like these podcasts come fast, but I don't know. I guess I missed y'all extra this past couple of weeks.
I didn't get to be on the Texas Chainsaw one, so
So I
Mm.
missed you even more. That's what happened.
yeah.
It was like, it's been so long since I seen Juan.
I couldn't find
Do you wanna-
things to wear.
You wanna?
Want a wand?
You wanna? Do you want to? Do you wanna? Jesus. Do you wanna?
Jesus?
Do you want to give a rating for Texas Chainsaw Massacre since you weren't on
No.
for that episode 1?
I forgot what I gave it. Well, go ahead. Sorry, Juan.
So
you're good, you're good. Well, I think Nick remembers if you want to tell what you gave and what Fuentes gave.
okay, so my rating was watch the episode. Everybody else, the bad 3. So I gave it a 3. Fuentes gave it a 0.5 higher than me, so 3.5 for him.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Two.
And that's just because it's the name Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The kills were super fun, really gory. Everything you want in a freaking stabathon. Really, honestly, that's what it was. The only thing that lacked was story. I didn't really like any of the actors that were in it. And the story just
The
kind of
girl's
felt.
hairstyle.
I love the hairstyle.
Oh, okay.
But it just felt like the story was just a little mess, a little all over the place. It felt like they were trying to be too much like Halloween 2018 with the whole 50 years later. I listened to the episode. Fuentes, you were right about the timeline. Like, even if Leatherface was like 50 years later, he'd be like almost 70 years old. Like, how the hell would he be able to get around and do the shit that he's doing in the movie? But like I said, you watch horror movies like that to see all the gruesome, nasty shit, and I think it delivered.
I guess I didn't really think about that too, but like that's what I really enjoyed about the movie was like how quick he was. Also, like it was very agile and made snap decisions.
Yeah.
Like when he did a lot of his kills or even like avoiding attacks, and that was my main like about the new Batman movie was like he would just walk in and first, you get no chance. I
No
don't
chance.
even care. Hey, it's like, oh shit, okay, cool. This one's way brutal. This one has anger issues. I love it.
It's got vengeance.
Vengeance. Mr.
Yeah,
Vengeance.
Talking about the Batman, Juan and the boys over at Cinema Movie Podcast. They their latest episode, Batman.
Man, it was fun.
So I think I
Yeah.
was like, I need to finish up 20 minutes. I have 20 minutes left in the episode. Almost done with that.
How long was the episode?
It's like 2 hours exactly.
Yeah, I got 2 hours to still finish then.
Yeah. It's a little. They're always a little lengthy.
No, I'm definitely gonna watch it or listen to it because I want to this weekend. I'm gonna try to go see it again.
Nice.
After I listen to y'all's podcast to kind of like see what y'all not nitpick, but what y'all have noticed and see if I can pick up on those same vibes when I watch it. Like your comment to me about how like Gotham was its own character, like I didn't really pick that up. Like I kind of did because they're obviously defending Gotham, and both when you look at the oh God, I'm giving so many spoilers. Jesus Christ. Sorry guys, if you are still trying to go watch the Batman. But
I'm glad you brought that up though, because like I was talking to somebody at work about it, and there's really nothing in the movie to spoil. The advertising, everything tells you who's in it and what's going on, and there's really nothing like Spider-Man that you can actually spoil in this movie,
right.
Other than one of the small scene at the end. But other than that, it's not even then. It's not even really a spoiler,
But like to me, I thought it was really cool how they tried to make not the transition, but because somebody tried to compare the Riddler to the Joker more recently, like they basically had the same ideals, kind of, which was true. When you like really look at it, yeah, they kind of had the same ideals in mind. Like they wanted to tear down the system. Was what the idea was, and whenever I was really looking at it, I was like, oh shit, like the Riddler and the Batman have the same agenda. They want to make Gotham better. That's their agenda, but they're both doing it two different ways and they're kind of fighting each other about it. And then to me, the plot twist was kind of like whenever Batman finally gets to have a sit down with the Riddler. And I was like, oh, this guy's like on another level crazy. Cool. Okay.
So from what I heard so far, y'all didn't rate Robert Pattinson's look, his features. I want to know on a scale of 1 to 10, is he hot? I'll still be
Oh, is he hot or not?
Hot or not?
He's sparkling.
He's sparkling.
Yeah.
He played a great Batman. I still have my opinions on his Bruce Wayne character, but like I kind of said to Juan, I kind of understand it's more of a development for Bruce Wayne and more of a they're trying to really focus on the Batman. They're not really trying to focus on the Bruce Wayne as a character. And you can see that in the movie as well. Like you see very little Bruce Wayne scenes. You see a lot like Batman just being in a nightclub and being Batman. Like, hey, I'm going to walk through a nightclub and be Batman. Like, okay.
It felt a lot like the Arkham video games. Like a lot of the fight scenes and cut scenes felt like the video games. So that's what I really appreciated about it as well.
Oh boy.
All right, well, I guess maybe we should.
Okay,
maybe
Batman,
we should
right?
do the review of the Batman and go back to the Eye.
So I'm wondering how many more movies we can talk about over before we get to the Eye. Texas Massacre, Batman.
So the Sixth Sense. I mean,
what are we talking about today? The Eye with Jessica Alba?
Yes, this is episode 5, and we're reviewing The Eye of 2008 with Jessica Alba. So before giving our ratings, gonna jump right to spoiler-free snaps.
Snaps.
I'm very impressional because I don't have the damn thing pulled up.
Freestyle it, bro. Freestyle it. You got this.
Freestyle it. Okay, so I'm
Blind
seeing
chick
this
can
thing.
see.
Blind for most of her life. Concert violinist Sydney Wells. No, bitch, right in. Jessica Alba is the recipient of a double corneal transplant that restores her sight at long last. With the help of her doctor and sister, she seems to see again. Soon, however, frightening visions convince her that a terrifying alternate world exists, and only she can see it. When she's by that shit, they're talking about Narnia.
So I did a little digging. So the budget on this movie was $12 million. The Rotten Tomato review, before we give our reviews, was a 22%. The IMDb rating was 5.4 out of 10. Just to kind of give y'all some background before we give y'all our ratings.
So as far as cast, okay. Jessica Alba, of course, the main actress. Parker Posey. Alessandro Nivola. Dawn Granger. Fernanda Romero. Is that your last name, Juan?
That is.
Any relation?
She was a feature. She was a past ex. And I'm just messing with you.
Oh shit.
That'd be pretty nice. No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Noise. I didn't give the kicker names. I don't know. I was just reading up the actors' names. Do you have it pulled up on y'all's end?
The only two that I want to say it was notable from that time is Jessica Alba and Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz. Yeah.
Moretz,
I forgot she was in that.
who was a hit girl and Kick-Ass.
And she plays Carrie, the
And
remake.
she plays.
And she comes out in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and she comes out in a bitch.
She was in Let Me In, that vampire movie that came out like in 2010.
She was, yeah. And then she plays Alyssa, a cancer patient in this movie.
And she also comes out in 500 Days of Summer. Okay.
Good movie.
That is a great movie. We should review that sometime.
Yeah, I'm down. It's underrated.
Audio HD.
It's UHD.
All right, we want to get right into this rating. Man,
We're past the snaps.
we're past snaps. Oh shit, director. I didn't look at that part. I mean,
The director is David Moriu.
It says it was directed by two people, and Xavier Plaud.
It looks like they do movies together because when I try to look up past movies to kind of get an idea of movies they directed, they kind of did the same ones, and I didn't even know what the movies were. Entrustin, Blind Man, and Them.
They have something with. They have a teaser for blind people, I guess.
Right?
The Blind
Souls? This one looks interesting. Souls. 5
Souls.
kids wake up in a world where everyone disappears.
dun dun dun. Oh,
So what'd you give this rating for this movie? Nick?
God
Sorry, I
damn
forget there's an extra person now. I have to say names.
it. Say names.
Ugh.
I'd say 3 for an average.
Cool.
But we were talking like if it's just purely based off Jessica Alba, it's a 5 out of 5
So occasionally
for
I
Jessica
give
Alba.
the ratings for potential. So I'll give it for potential that it had. It's like a 4. It's like a 4 out of 5. But for what it actually was, it was a 2.5 to me.
Mm.
Mm.
No, he's gonna go lower. He's gonna go way low.
I'm gonna give this movie a 1.
A what?
One?
Give yourself.
A 1.
Wait, have you seen Nightmare Cinema?
I have not. I mean, I hardly give any duds, but this movie for me, at least for now, spoiler free, is a 1.
Mm. A 1.
A 1.
So like, if it's like above 1, it's like 2 machete, 3 machete, 4 machete, 5 machete. But if it's a 1, it's a Juan. We're just gonna have a picture of Juan's face.
Mm. Just
Who
pops
knows?
up.
I was gonna do 1.5. I was even gonna do a 2, but we'll get into it.
Oh boy.
We'll get into it.
Oh, I mean, I don't have a poster like UHD, so I had to just pull out a physical copy.
Damn.
All right. Spoiler warning. Go check it out now on Tubi.
It's on Tubi for free.
Is that where you checked it out?
That's where I watched it. Yeah, it was Tubi.
Yeah, I watched it on Tubi as well.
Could have sworn I was on Pluto TV originally. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like watching ads, so so I'd go spend $5 on online to get a copy of the movie.
Nice.
So screw your ads. Sorry, Tubi.
I mean, if we're gonna start with favorites and stuff, I guess we're getting into it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching it in Blu-ray probably was nice because I mean, to me, it had good graphics. You know, it had that like a lot of the scenes where they were trying to show like the ghost world and the real world kind of combining in her, stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, like what they did. I felt like this movie had a lot of potential. Like when she goes into that coffee scene and like sits down and she kept kind of seeing like a vision of like stuff like happening, but she wasn't really sure what was going on. Then it turns out the whole place had burned down like months before. Like I thought that was a cool like setup kind of to kind of show like, oh shit, like she's living it. Like she has no control over this at the moment, and she is going through this phase right now with her new eyes. And then her morning wake ups, where she would see the walls change to different like scenes. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, so I don't know how to really describe bad acting and good acting. I think she did a decent job acting, but I don't think she did a great job acting or a bad job. She just kind of played her role, I guess, but enough to get a paycheck and leave with part of that $12 million budget.
I had a little joke in here, and I wasn't gonna trash her that bad, but the joke was she literally did spend like 6 months learning how to play the violin, and I was gonna say on the show that maybe she spent that 6 months on some better acting classes or something. But
you think she got by her career with just her acting?
No, I mean, but it's not. I don't think it was a lot of this stuff isn't on her, nor it's her fault. I think
one of my favorite scenes, I think, was like right in the very beginning. They try to kind of make her like Daredevil, like she can like hear things, and she stopped the skateboarder from like jumping into the road or whatever. And the guy was like, "Thanks," and she's like, "I didn't see it." "Me neither." Like, I am the night.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. I am vengeance. But like I thought that was like kind of cool, like a kind of a cool setup. Like, you know, it was actually like I thought it was cool, like the beginning scene where we're showing a lot of her blind techniques and stuff like that. Like it seems silly, but I seen on TikTok recently, like, you know, a blind person when they fill up a glass, they stick their finger into the glass, so when they're filling it up, they can feel like when it's almost to the top of the glass. And she did that in the movie, which I thought was kind of like a cool little like nod to actual blind people. So I thought it was cool for actual blind people, but it's kind of funny because, you know, if you're really blind, you're never gonna see this. But you know, thanks for trying and representing. You know, it's I like that whole beginning scene. Like I said, I thought it was really cool. How she was a blind person who was like, I don't know, in my head, it would be really hard to be a blind person who can like live a normal life, like walk down the streets or do any of that stuff. And we see it in movies like Daredevil in this movie, but I mean, are there actual people who do these things? Like, I need to meet these people. Like, I don't. It just seems crazy to me that you would walk around the earth without sight and no guidance except a walking stick. Like, I don't know.
Walking stick.
Kind of
Got
blows
that-
my mind when I
got the
think about it.
Daredevil hearing.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
no, I
maybe-
thought it, like I said, I just thought that was a cool beginning scene to her setup.
For me, most of the movie, I mean, it's not even the acting or anything like it. I mean, the story is kind of pretty bland. But I mean, what that was cool about was mainly the visuals. I mean, it could have gone like into a better direction. Like Fuentes was saying, I mean, could have the potential. The concept of it, even though this movie was out before the movie I'm about to compare it to, VHS, with part 2, that short where the guy has the eye, and he's seen. Well, giving spoilers to 1, but yeah, it reminded me of that. Even though, like I said, this movie came out before that. Some of the scenes I enjoyed were when you saw the death shadows when they would just walk out the people that are about to die, like the Chloe Grace Moretz scene.
Yeah, like, I mean, now I'm gonna fall into dislikes, but that was something I didn't like really. That like the very beginning when you see the girl who hangs herself, like it's almost like she's trying to run away from those guiders or whatever you would call them. Grim Reapers is kind of really what I would describe them, but Shadow Grim Reapers. It almost seemed like the Grim Reaper Shadow was gonna be like a bad guy or something.
That's me.
In it, and but like they just did their job. Like they didn't really attack her. They didn't do anything extra, but that's what they kind of made it seem like it was gonna be. So that was kind of one of the things I like didn't really enjoy, was that like they try to make those things be like the bad guys when they didn't even do anything wrong. Like they were just doing their job.
Yeah, they weren't
people taking them to the other side.
pretty much they're about naturally die. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know if it can compare it to like a Final Destination. I mean, that death actually comes where you're so at. But yeah, I mean, you don't really see anyone get killed in this movie. They just get walked off. I don't know. I don't know if I got that sense that they could be running away from these shadow monsters.
Well, to me, that
Or
was
like
strike.
kill itself.
That was strike one for me, because that was potential right there. You know, maybe she had to figure out how to get away from the shadow monster. Maybe she had to, you know, that was potential to make the storyline more interesting with shadow monsters, and they didn't do that. So to me, that was strike one, because they made it like they were pushing for that direction from the beginning, and then it never really amounted to that or anything. So that was potential wasted, part 1.
Potential wasted, part 1. Out of how many parts? 6? 6?
I think
10
there's
parts.
I think there's like 4 different things in this movie that
It was like 8 parts.
that
or
I
9
would
parts.
say that was potential, and they just kind of like squandered it.
I agree with you guys though. Like this movie does have like a lot of potential. It's got You know, it's got the hot star power of Jessica Alba from 2008. It's got
Oh,
the
Mm.
budget. It's got the scenes that are just like, yeah. I mean, I think it was also a very well
So-
marketed film too, and it was like one of the biggest movies of the beginning of 2008 when it came out. But man, it just did not hit. It didn't hit. For me.
Yeah, it was like
None of the scenes were like memorable at all. And I think a movie like this, it surrounded itself with cheap jump scares, and I think that's what it really just wanted to hang its hat on. And it didn't do a good job with the jump scares, like the coffee shop scene, the house on fire nightmare scene, the mirror and the shower scene. The shower scene was amazing, but like the mirror scene was just all jump scares. And I mean, you can put so many jump scares in so many horror movies, and if it's good, it'll look good and sound good. But this one just, you could see him coming like a mile away, at least for me. And I haven't
Yeah.
seen this movie like
Mm.
since its release.
I think
The-
what was really also cool about this movie, not cool, but like things that I thought were interesting were like a lot of like the plot twist whenever she figured out like her face wasn't her face. Like, at first I was just like, what does she mean? Like, and then it's like, oh shit, like that's not the face she's looking at. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, okay, cool. Like, but like it was the way they presented it, kind of like Juan was saying, like the way they presented that scene, they didn't really build up to us knowing that she didn't know that's not what she looked like. Like, in movies, sometimes they drop little hints, to build it up, kind of like she's about to figure out something crazy that she didn't know. But this one was just kind of dropped in your lap. Hey, she doesn't know what she looks like. What? She doesn't know what she looks like. Like, oh, okay. I didn't see that coming for sure, but it was kind of random. Like,
Yeah, because the first time she actually gets to look at herself, it's not even like a clear vision. It's just straight up blurry.
mhm.
And then, I mean, I don't know why they don't. I mean, I guess it's just to build up on that. Like,
Imagine if her eyes were like taken from like an Asian person or like a black person. She's like, damn, I turned Asian or I turned black. A lot has changed since I've last seen things.
So, like, I mean, some of those scenes that I named were favorites of mine, though. Like, I did enjoy the coffee shop scene was pretty cool. Some of her flashbacks, or not flashbacks, but just like the nightmare sequences. Her interaction with Alicia. The whole time, though, I kind of thought that Alicia was like not really. How can I put this? Like, what did you guys think the first time? Did you think she was already dead, or did you think that she was like a ghost?
No, I didn't think she was dead, but I did think she was about to die. I mean, obviously she had cancer and stuff, but I kind of got the vibe that she was gonna die and Chickface was gonna see her dead when she got her sight. It was kind of one of those, like you said, they coming a mile away, like not really plot twists, but scenes. Like it wasn't very, I don't want to say very well or crafted or hidden. It was just like, hey, look, there's a chick with cancer that she meets, while she's still trying to figure out like how her sight works, and I know she's seeing dead things, so she's gonna see this girl dead. It's just gonna happen.
I also think that's the like PG-13 horror movies to me are just so hit and miss. Like, it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to be really, really shitty. Like, I don't think there's any in between with PG-13 and horror movies. That's just me, though. Anytime I see that PG-13 rating, I'm always like, it's because at least with a rated R horror movie, you're going to get some gore, some pretty cool, fun kill scenes, and then either the prosthetic, or not prosthetics, but the visual effects or the gore is going to be really, really just gruesome. But with something being PG-13, it's just like, do you really need to see what might not be in a PG-13 movie compared to a rated R movie?
Yeah, I kind of get you. Like, I don't know. I guess, does gore really make a horror movie? I mean, that
Gore
I guess-
doesn't, but I think like maybe a terrifying, just some visual scenes in a rated R movie. If the eye was rated R, for sure that you would see a lot. She would be seeing some deeper, nastier, gruesome ghost shit, like maybe 13 Ghosts.
yeah, I guess that
Like
makes
movies,
sense.
not me.
I've just been curious because
Well-
I mean I see where you're
Mhm.
going with that. I've just always kind of been curious, like, is there a certain amount of fright factor that you can put into a movie with no gore, just literal like kind of jump scenes and scary images? And when I say scary images, I mean you can have the demon eyes, you can have the pale, face, you can have the elongated face, you can have the scars in the face, like those kind of images. Are there a certain amount of images that the movie rating council looks at and says, okay, this is so many images, this is rated R now?
Well,
Like,
like for example, the ghosts and the mystery figure that she saw, like for a PG-13 movie, you got kind of cheap looking CGI, but maybe if it was rated R, maybe you would have gotten some more detailed, gruesome looking ghost or something. I don't know. That's just kind of what I see it from.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just want a little bit more from horror movies. And I understand, this is a PG-13, 2008. This is your popular horror movies to get people in the movie theater. And whether it's something like this or Slender Man or The Bye Bye Man, PG-13 or not, like horror movies are gonna sell tickets. Everybody likes to go see horror movies, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, this just wasn't hitting me on the feels today.
This movie's not a remake of anything, right? It's its own original.
Well, I thought there
Yeah.
was a Japanese version.
I think it's a remake of a Japanese.
So I was thinking of the Pulse also. This is the era of like remakes and stuff. And a lot of remakes are like misses most of the time.
Yeah, I guess it's The Eye from 2002.
Jong-gun.
Yeah. When we talk about like PG-13 horror, that's when the pops in my mind. Most of the time they're like J horror stuff where they don't really depend on gruesome stuff like gore.
Well, this one's a rated R. The original one from
The original?
2000. Yeah, the 2002.
That one
Yeah.
got 64% on Rotten Tomato. Not that matters. I'm just letting you know.
I'm trying to think of like a movie that's actually like rated R that has like supernatural type shit.
And the jump scares really didn't pop out to me any either, just because I don't think the score was there. Usually when you have a good jump scare, you get a nice balanced high pitched score or something. I didn't really dig the vibes of the soundtrack.
Well, especially not the music that plays towards the end of the movie, like whatever at the end of the concert. That's not even part of the orchestra. That's just the music's playing to draw out the credits. I was like, what? It's supposed to be like a horror scary movie, and you're ending up like with the light tone music.
Now, see,
It's like,
I didn't like the ending, but I did like the fact that she was involved in like an orchestra, because that was something different. And they're like, she's blind, so let's put her in something where her ears just your that sense is almost like doubled because you can't see. So her being a violinist was like kind of smart, but I just felt like, again, like you said, Fuentes, you had the potential, but there was just seemingly the ball was dropped, I feel.
I guess, with all the not horror movies, with all the superhero movies and stuff, I really wanted her to like get like a control of her power, kind of like the way the kid did in The Sixth Sense, where he started seeing all these ghosts, but then he realized all these ghosts needed help. So then he started helping them. Like, that's, I guess we're going to kind of skip to how I would have ended it, but that's kind of how I would have wanted to end it, is that, she would have like gained a little bit more control and helped that little boy in the hallway who couldn't, find his report card and, help him get some peace.
doing
and
some
pass
side
over.
missions.
Yeah, I mean, like she would actually be helping that, but instead they were just like, let's just get her to do the one good deed and then reblind her. Like, it just kind of seemed like, I don't want to say cheap, but you know, it's like she only got sight to do the one good deed in her life, which she may feel good about. But then she lost her sight again as soon as it, like, you know, was done and over with. And it was just like, that's lame. She had so much potential to do more good. Being able to see these, you know, ghosts and stuff, but they didn't like give her that opportunity. It was just like, well, what was the point of her seeing the ghost things if really what her past corneaed donor really wanted to show her was a vision of the future? Like, it was like, can she see the future or can she see ghosts? And if she can see the future and see ghosts, then why does she see ghosts? And why are you showing me that she can see ghosts in this movie if her real power and real purpose is to change the future? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. That's how my brain's working right now. Like, I don't understand why they took that. Was like strike 2 and 3. That was number 2 and 3 of like potential they had, and they were just like, nah, we're just gonna just have her go all the way to Mexico to go talk to this grandma and then give her a heart attack so she can drive back. And that was the reason she needed to actually be in there, you know. It was just weird. I don't know. I didn't like the story, like the way they plotted the story. You know, I didn't like the way they were trying to make her gifts. You know, I didn't like it. I didn't like what they did. It had so much potential, and I don't like what they did with it. That's my opinion.
Nick, you gave this a 3 though. Like, what's some of the most positives that you see about this film that you would enjoy letting somebody know that, hey, you know, I think this was a pretty good movie.
I think it's just mainly because I'm used to the formula of what this whole era of movies are. Like I said, I always mention it's just a guilty pleasure. It's not really like these are the greatest movies of that era. I mean, mainly it consists of a bunch of remakes and shit. I mean, it was like I said, for sure it was not the story at all whatsoever. It's like some of the like the simple, like, yeah, I'm going back to that scene again when she first sees one of the Death Shadow people, and then like the old lady's about to die. Like, you know, of course you don't get to see that horrible CGI that you're talking about earlier, but just from the blurry vision, I thought that looked pretty cool. And I don't know, that looks like something you could probably witness, like in a real life situation kind of thing. I think it's like some of it it's mainly just like scenery, like visual. Like they could have done like, what did you say, like 12 million, was it? They could have done a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I never really know what it takes to make a movie, to be honest. Like, when someone says $12 million, that's a lot of money in my head. Like, where are you? Like, is it going to the graphic design team? Or are they all getting paid like $100,000 each to create a wall scene? I don't know where all this money's going when they make movies. Sometimes, like a lot of the superhero movies, like I can understand why they're like $23 million to make, because like shit, most of it's CGI. Like most of it's behind a green screen. They're building most of that world, but like they didn't really look like they built much of this world except during the dream scenes, whenever the walls and stuff were kind of, you know, going together. But looked like a regular ass apartment to me, and a regular ass, you know, place she was at, and a regular ass doctor office. Like, it's, I don't know. Do they have to pay? I don't know how budget works with movies. I just know it costs a lot of money to make one for some reason. Unless you make Evil Dead Part 1.
I mean, that money goes to everything, though. It goes to, like, you know, the camera guy, the lighting guy.
Jessica Alba's the main of the portion.
Jessica Alba. She probably got
just
8
for her
million
appearance.
of it. Yeah, Jessica Alba probably got 8 million of it.
So we could work on the visuals, but Jessica Alba, though.
We could have a badass movie with a B-list actor, or we can get Jessica Alba.
That's what it came down to. Some of the scenes kind of remind me of a 1408. Just like all the transitioning, like the diner scene. How it just quickly turns into like everything like charred, like burned. Kind of reminded me of that. Like in 1408, like whenever he thinks he's out of the hotel, he goes into that mailroom and people are like breaking it down. And he goes back into the hotel. I don't know.
That's a true.
There's just like a little bit of movies that I saw kind of in there.
Yeah, that The Sixth Sense, like I said,
Sixth Sense. That
I felt that. I don't know. Is everyone always gonna say it feels like The Sixth Sense if you can see dead people?
I see dead people.
I see dead people.
This even, I mean, maybe it's because it was a little closer to the early 2000s, but even had some feelings of like Final Destination.
I was going to mention it earlier.
not the scenes, but just the way some of the stuff was shot, or maybe some of the dialogue was driven out there. But I mean, that wasn't like terrible, comparing it to the Final Destination.
Or having like the visual of the future, like what's about to happen.
Oh yeah, that too. I didn't think about that.
I guess what I also found annoying was kind of what Juan had already talked about before, like the writing and dialogue wasn't that great, but like every time she's like tried to explain to people, like, dude, I'm seeing shit, I know it's not normal, and they're like, it's your eyes, they're adjusting to the real world, you're gonna things are weird to you, man. Like, dude, she was like up to 8 years old, like with sight, like it's not the first time she's seeing ever in her life. She knows what things look like. Like, yes, technology and things will change, and there's going to be some things that are definitely going to be a surprise. But, I mean, seeing people laying in a bed dead and seeing people walking around as well just shouldn't be something normal. Like, it was just like she was just getting dismissed. And then the doctor decides, hey, I'm going to believe her. And then they also try to make a whole scene of like, why did you decide to believe me? And it was just like, he didn't really give an answer. And it's just like, well, obviously it's because he thought you're hot. Like, there's no other real answer except he thinks you're hot. Like, he's going to lose his license because he thinks you're hot. Like, that's it. There's no other reason. I don't even know why the question's being asked in this movie, because we all know why he's doing it. He thinks you're hot.
That scene, there's a scene that cracks me up where like, she's like, all this is like she's trying to say like it's very real to her, and like it's like you're real, and how she touches his face, the doctor's face. He's like his little smiles like oh. He's just like, I don't know, I just thought it was stupid and hilarious. What were you gonna say, Juan?
Do you guys think it was too obvious that as soon as she got done with surgery in the hospital, she started seeing the different images? Or do you think it would have been a little bit better if they, if she went home and then she started seeing the stuff when she was home? Like, I kind of felt like, not even 24 hours after the surgery, she's starting to see some of the stuff. And I know, their new eyes and their, that's the gist of the story, but I just kind of felt like, more hospital haunting vibes. Like, that to me was a little bit too much, honestly predictable. Like, I thought it would have been pretty cool if she went home, somebody set her up at home, her sister or something, and then she just, but I know she's got to like cope and be in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days, but I don't know. Just a thought. Hospital.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I also like understand that
she has to automatically start getting haunted at the hospital.
Yeah, like I mean, is that how? I mean, we can't say that's how it would really work, because we don't know if that's how it would work, because I don't know if there's cases like that. But I mean, if it was gonna happen, it was gonna be instantly, right? Like, it wouldn't be just like the eyes have to adjust to your brain, and the brain slowly downloads its ghostly images into your brain. Like, it would be pretty instant, I would assume.
Like she got hooked up to the Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was appropriate, I guess, in my view, because that's what the story was about to be about. Is that, you know, she's
You
about
think-
to see some weird shit.
You think when she was blind, like her hearing was super aggressive, her taste was aggressive, but once she started opening her eyes and she could start seeing, you think she lost any of that extra? This is just spitballing, just being funny. Like she no longer has
Yeah.
those super hearing powers.
I think
Like I
There's
can
like
hear
a
my man cheating on me.
there's like a study I think that was done that like you know, a lot of our brain power goes to our sight. You know, it's actually our biggest distraction, but it's our biggest, you know, ally, but it's our biggest distraction from all our other senses. Like our sight, we believe more of what we see than when we hear, feel, touch, and all the above. Like
Seeing is believing.
seeing is believing, exactly the saying, seeing is believing, you know. It takes over a lot of our senses. So it makes sense that once she regained her sight, that she, like the doctor was trying to tell her, you're going to start trying to rely on your sight a lot more. Don't do it just yet because you're still adjusting. Like, you know, keep aware that you have your other senses still. Like, don't just try to go full into your sight because you're still adjusting to the real world, basically, with your eyes. And that made a lot of sense to me because I was like, oh, like that. There's a lot of this movie that makes sense. Like, I feel like they did their research. Like I said, the beginning scene with her being blind and them showing that, I thought that was really well done. The doctor kind of explaining like the procedure she's gonna have to go through to rehabilitate herself with sight now seemed pretty spot on. I was like, well, that makes sense. You know, she probably really shouldn't trust her eyes just because, you know, she's been using her other senses for so long, like, and her eyes haven't been used. Like, it's going to take her time to adjust to, you know, even probably depth perception and shit like that. Like, that's all new to her. But so I thought they did a really good job when it came to the research of like blindness and what the surgery would be like. But then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't just feed you like BS. They actually, they kept it real with that stuff.
so
Taking
like, I
someone's
think,
pretty
you know,
cool.
that's where like $4 million of the budget went to, was research on that.
What do you guys think of the doctor that has the funny name, Dr. Paul Faulkner?
The main therapist doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know. I don't really, like I said, I really didn't like his dialogue in there. He was a very, very, you're crazy, basically. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You know what? I'm going to believe you. Why do you believe me? Because this doesn't get rock hard for no reason.
I
Like,
was like, how she, it's like the way she says it, she's like so softly, like, you don't believe me. No one believes me.
that was
like-
great.
You get this guitar.
That's why the movie was called The Eye and not The Eyes.
yeah, it was really talking about a different eye the whole time.
I'm surprised he wasn't on board as soon as like when they go inside that the
He's
mother's
like,
house.
oh, she's blind. She'll never know.
She'll never know. You don't see what's really happening.
Whenever they're at the mother's house, because they're over here talking about like that her daughter actually saw some shit, and she's all like, you see ghosts, and even when the doctor's hearing that whatever, he's still in denial. It's up until when he sees the explosion happen, and he's like, all right, I believe you now. But it's like a little bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So
That was really weird too. Just like the whole, like, getting everyone to get out of their cars, and then, you know, it was
It's
like, oh my
threat.
god, what do we do? There's a bomb.
It's a
the
bomb.
house scene.
Bomb here.
What's in the
I don't know,
box?
man.
Oh man.
I
mean-
think I've expressed a lot of my likes and dislikes of this movie.
Covered plenty. then since we made like movie comparisons, I thought I'd throw another one in there. That guy in the elevator looking in the corner kind of reminded me of Blair Witch. The ghost that's just looking at he's in the elevator, just standing in the corner.
That was kind of a gruesome scene because you could kind of see like part of his face and like his whole jaw was missing. And
Oh, and he's like levitating towards her in the back.
yeah,
This isn't real.
and
This isn't real.
I was like, man, I don't know why that was like giving me heebie-jeebies, just like
Heebie-jeebies.
just
I mean,
watching her not look at it and knowing it's right there. Like I felt at that scene in general, I forgot about that scene until just right now. But that scene in general definitely made my skin crawl. Like, cause I was just like, dude, like I'd be flipping out right now. Like I'd have to turn around and look what's
I mean,
behind
she
me.
was when
Like,
she looks at the security cam. You see the couple go in there. Like, are you gonna come in or not? And it's like she's looking at the camera, and you see the guy still standing there. It's like, oh, it's not just an actual guy just standing there. It's actual ghost.
yeah,
It's just like even if it wasn't a ghost, just a guy just standing there in the corner. That's just freaky.
yeah, definitely.
But I mean, it had some cool moments. I don't know. It's I would say it's a movie if you're doing something on your phone.
That's a great.
Movie, background movie, just to have on.
I was gonna say
Um,
that's a great description, Nick. It's a
great
movie.
description. It's a
That's
movie.
it. It's a
It's
movie.
another remake movie. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I mean, it's all right.
Taglines.
Taglines.
I'm still not used to it being called taglines. I was like,
you
all
can't
right,
slow
slogans, let's do this. Why do you gotta ruin things, Juan?
Sorry.
It was the one. It was Freddie from J Fleet.
Oh
What was
yeah,
it-
that's right. It
what
was the
wasn't
other
it
guy.
originally
It was your
called,
other guest.
what did you
Slogans.
guys- Yeah, slogans, right? Favorite slogans.
Slogans.
I like
Yeah.
Slogans actually.
Apparently, it's supposed to be called taglines in a movie.
That's the
Slogans.
official.
That's
It's the official term of
Well, we don't do things official. It's
Oh.
nice to go off of your wall and kind of. I like slogans because it reminded me of Logan, and I like Wolverine.
Mm.
Logan slogan.
What are you doing over there? You playing with
That's
your background?
I'm gonna take this off of my wall.
You take it out of your watch. Oh boy. So you know what? You don't even deserve that. You don't deserve it. I took it off your wall. Like that.
Now, see,
Disappeared.
that's some CGI that you don't have to pay millions for.
uh,
So what is this-
taglines.
The
All right.
tagline of this movie is what? You won't believe in her eyes.
A supernatural
what that
term.
says?
You won't believe her. You won't believe her eyes. Yeah, that's
Oh.
it. That's
You
the
won't
tagline.
believe her. Yeah,
I
it
said
says
you won't
right.
believe in her eyes.
Won't believe her eyes.
Mine would be the eye. You never saw it coming.
Oh shit.
Spelled differently though.
The eye. The sixth sense.
Sixth Sense.
The eye. I should have stayed blind.
Hmm.
You know what I find crazy? I know we're in taglines, but I was meant to mention this before. Like, I find it interesting that, like, whenever there's these types of movies with, like, visual hauntings, like, even in VHS 2, like, they weren't just visual hauntings. They were audible hauntings because you can hear you can hear the things. You can, I guess you can't taste and touch, or you can't do the other ones, but you can definitely hear them. So you get like audible, like haunting as well as visual, just from one sense being changed. But like whenever the eyes go away, it's like, does she hear dead people? Like, no, I don't think she does. But
wouldn't
I've always
mind-
found that.
Go ahead.
I just find that interesting, in a lot of these types of movies where something similar like that happens. Like, it's not like the eyes are making you see things you've never seen before, but you're also hearing things you've never heard before. And I mean, in some cases, feeling, because like fire, they feel the fire or whatever. Like I think she felt when she got scratched in her arm, and then it kind of disappeared, whatever. But I'm pretty sure she felt that, that's feel. I don't know. I just find it weird sometimes, in these types of things. Like they don't just visually see things; it's actual hauntings that are happening to them now. Full scale haunting. I don't know. Just thought that was something I wanted to point out.
I wouldn't mind hearing or seeing or feeling the dead, but smelling, golly, I just that would be a haunting out of this world. And the smell probably would make me want to go do off with myself. Yep, that's what happened. The smell got to him.
What do you think killed him? It was definitely the smell.
Is that his body, your body, or that body? I don't know. Jessica Alba.
DI.
Seeing
Seeing is believing.
Any day. Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. See no evil. See evil.
The eye. You don't believe me.
You don't believe me.
The eye.
Don't believe me, just watch.
I should have made Fantastic Four 3.
Invisible Woman.
That's the future she saw. She had to like unsee it.
It's
Maybe
there's rumors that Reed Richards is supposed to be in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I was gonna say that'd be nice if she had the cameo.
Right.
We could see her in the multiverse of the eye.
you can see her, but she can't see you.
Yeah, she'll be there. We just can't see her.
Multiverse of boobness.
All right. How we would have ended it.
Oh boy.
I pretty much said mine earlier, but I would have ended it with her keeping her vision and like helping out the dead, like basically getting a little bit more awareness of her powers and helping them out, or even up to the point where like after that her ghostly visions dimmed down, but like I guess every so often she would like see like maybe the little girl Chloe or Alyssa in the movie had walked by and gave her like a little smile, and she kind of like smiled back at her, and life goes on. I'm a very hard person to please, I've realized, like when it comes to movies, because I don't like endings that like where the bad guys completely win, but I also don't like movies where it's just like go lucky and happy either. For horror movies, like somehow I want a best of both worlds. I want them the good people who are trying to survive win, but I also want the bad guy to still kind of be like, yo, I'm still around, bro. I'm still gonna fuck you up. Like, I don't know. I want the best of both worlds somehow. This one had the complete opposite. It was a nice, happy ending with, like Nick said earlier, nice symphony playing, her and her band, and just kind of ended like that. And that was it. No.
With her sister and the doctor and the seats.
Yeah, it was a very happy ending. Like it was, there was no spookiness or no
spooky.
Nothing else added to it. So, but like I said, I would have ended it more of like she had a purpose for her life now. This just kind of made it feel like she went back to being blind and everything went back to normal in her life. Like all her purpose was lost. So I kind of like, I don't know, kind of lame ending to me.
I would have liked to see her be completely psychotic and take her sister's sight.
Okay. That's how you feel.
Yeah. Give me your sight, bitch.
Give me your sight.
Get over here.
I think I would have. Sounds pretty lame, but I think I would have had her die in the explosion, and she opens her eyes, but she thinks like she's waking up, like still alive, but she opens her eyes, and then the shadow person's like walking towards her. It's like, I don't want to go. I don't know.
Oh damn!
The shadow, the people take her away.
Then it turns into like Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
Oh.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I was
yeah.
thinking more. I was thinking more of Bruce Willis, but
Bruce
oh my
Willis.
god, I was dead the whole time.
Oh,
Yep, she dies and she gets to walk with the ghost he won. And
I thought you were going to say the opposite. I thought you said she was going to die in the explosion. A big old hand comes down from above with a big old bright light. Come home.
right like that.
And then you see little Nick in the background. I'm from the
Maybe she
deep
did
south.
die, and that's her dream is playing in the symphony again and being blind.
That's
That
the
was her-
afterlife.
That was her afterlife.
Instead of her sister and the psychiatrist, he could put him with the Alicia and what's the
Dude,
the
wouldn't
main
that
actress?
that would have been an ending right there? She was playing in the symphony, and then, like all the
it's
dead
all
people
for the dead people.
were also
Yeah,
sitting in like the scene, like, oh shit, is she deid too?
There you go.
That would have been a cool
That would
ending.
have been good. Yeah.
But-
See, you guys can write movies.
We could definitely. We have to do a Friday the 14th produced horror movie at some point.
It's on the list.
I think we're pretty. I think we wouldn't be too bad. You know, only because like I think we watched enough movies to really see what bad acting would look like. You know, I think we'd be able to shoot a scene and be like, yeah, bro, that really sucked. You should do that again.
If you have tears, we'll just come up and poke you in the eye.
Get these onions away from me.
These onions. Shopping the onions. I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh man. Why, just to make a movie and then give yourself a 1?
We're gonna review our own movie. Damn, man. I gave it a 2.5.
2.5.
I would only watch it once.
Scored under Nightmare Cinema. That's good. Well, I guess I can't make a movie. But that was our show for DI. Sorry, one. Sorry, I had to put you through the movie.
No, you're good.
I mean,
I've seen worse.
it was it's an option for me because I mean, like I said, it was a movie I just saw on Pluto TV, and I know this movie has been out forever. It's just like it's one of those movies I skipped over in my life. I was like, all right, I'm down to watching a movie, and why not review it? And I didn't have a movie for the last episode, so like
This was kind of on
killed-
the spot too. Like
it
you
was
were
on
like,
the spot.
yeah. So I'm not gonna, you were like, oh, Friday the 14th is next week. I haven't picked out a movie yet.
I thought I'd satisfy my my taste with some eye candy of Jessica Alba.
You're like, she looks hot.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Do you want to go ahead and plug some sheesh?
What are you guys talking about next, or is that later?
Oh shit, that's I mean, Fuentes.
I know. I
What
picked a
things?
movie last week, and then I forgot which movie I picked. So I was trying to think of it real quick. That's why I'm scrolling through my phone real quick. Like, which movie was it? Damn it! But y'all can do y'all's plugs while I look for.
Where can we see you at, Nick?
Well, where can you see me? We're talking about seeing is believing. That's a bit. You can see me on an episode on UHD with you talking about Pulse.
Pulse.
What year is it? 2006, 7, around there. That's another. You're probably not gonna like that movie either. So it's another a J horror American adaptation. But yeah, we'll be reviewing that movie. You can follow my Insta on the 4K Bad Guy. I post some physical media stuff on there, not as frequently, but it's there. Or if you want to see some of my reposts of what we're reviewing, you can follow our Friday the 14th page on Insta. Friday the 14th podcast UHD is what's under. And an announcement. So Franco messaged me early on the show.
I'm fired.
He says Fuentes is fired and he's gonna come back. No, it's not the news. I'm just gonna read it. I think it sounds more hilarious reading the message instead of just saying parts of it. So mention on this week to the audio listeners that the last episode on audio will be the next episode, March 23rd. After that, it's strictly YouTube only.
Oh, we're not gonna do the anchor anymore?
Apparently.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. Apparently, I don't know. Yeah. I guess Frank wants to take a break for a while.
YouTube only.
YouTube only.
YouTube.
YouTube. I think that's it. On my half. I don't know. Yeah, that's enough solid time for you on this.
Yeah, no, I remember the movie. I found the movie that I wanted to watch last week or last 2 weeks. So the movie that we're gonna review for next time is a Netflix movie. I don't know if it's a Netflix original. I don't think it is. But it's called Aftermath, and it's on Netflix. So you can check it out. It's on Netflix, called Aftermath. Basically, the little snaps on it is this young couple get a new house to save their marriage, and weird shit starts happening.
Aftermath. Isn't that a record label?
Aftermath. I'm still waiting for Straight Outta Compton Part 2.
Hey, what year is Aftermath? Is it? It's not the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, is it?
No.
That's pretty horrifying.
It's 2021.
Okay.
We're gonna review Maggie.
Put that cookie down.
Put that cookie down.
Ooh, Ashley Greene is in it. Okay.
I have no idea who she is.
She
If
played
you're about
Alice.
to know who that is.
She played Alice in the Twilight movies.
Oh.
Alice.
The one
Is
who could
that-
see, the one who could see into the future?
Okay.
Oh, the short hair vampire.
Hmm.
Damn.
Damn.
So yeah, Aftermath on Netflix. That's the next one we're going to review 2 weeks from now. As for my plugins, my name is Mr. Fuentes. I do rap music. You can check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere you can listen to music. Thank y'all for joining in on the podcast. Thank you, Juan, for jumping in on another episode. It's always good to have other feedback as well, and the more the merrier. So thank you for joining in. You can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Mr. Fuentes 361. And again, thank y'all for listening, and I think it's time for the real one.
Just simple, quick plug. You guys can follow me on the Instagram, one word, Cinnamon Movie Podcast. I put out a podcast as well on Mondays. If you guys like long 2-hour podcast, you can check it out. But yeah, on Instagram, I just post a bunch of physical media, and that's pretty much it. I haven't been doing a lot of physical media lately because been checking out that new WWE video game, and it's been kind of taken over my life. So we'll see.
I understand.
Yeah. Usually I'm not a video game person, but this week has been video games. So
I understand.
You understand?
you still do your Twitch?
I didn't get to do anything last week because I was sick last weekend.
Man, you told me you had the flu.
Yeah, it was terrible. I hated it. I didn't get to do nothing. So tomorrow I'll be going back to Twitch again. But I've been playing Cuphead, and that game is freaking stupid. Like I'm beating the bosses on the first level, but like it literally takes me like 50 tries to beat the bosses. It's like the way I've explained Cuphead to some people is like, have you ever used brain teaser games like Lumosity or other different things that train your brain to be a little more quicker response times and things like that? Like there's games and stuff like that on the internet and different products and stuff that do these things to keep you more quicker on your feet and quicker in your thoughts. And that's pretty much what Cuphead is like every boss is uniquely freaking hard, but you can beat them, but it's a repetitive process of you dying 5,000 times till you realize what the pattern is, so you can almost still die before you beat this person. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, to be honest, but I mean, it's fun too, because when you finally beat the bosses, you feel like you accomplished something. It's not something super easy, because I played games like that too, where I've just literally ran straight through the game and was like, oh yeah, that boss was like medium hard, not really that hard. I can usually beat him first time. You're pretty much never going to beat a Cuphead boss the first time. It's just not going to happen. Although you watch people that are pros now, because at first I was going to do Twitch with Cuphead, but I saw how many times I was dying. I was like, man, it'd be like literally an hour and a half of me dying. like this is horrible. And then I realized like people actually like take their time to learn the bosses tricks and shit, and then they go back and beat them all badass style without getting hit, and like that's what they're showing on their Twitches. It's never their first time running through those bosses, and it's just like, I can't be that guy, man. I can't go in there first time trying to run through these bosses like looking like stupid, like a super novice. And Alice too, that shit's also getting pretty hard. I'm over here trying to like pass this one level, and I can't. I played this almost for 2 weeks now trying to pass this level, and I'm like stuck. I have to pass it before tomorrow, because I'm not gonna be sitting there for an hour and a half just dying over and over again. Anyway, sorry, random side thing. I have a Twitch too. It's mfuentes361.
Fuentes. All right, boys. I'll catch Fuentes tomorrow night, I guess. Maybe.
I'll be on there, dude. I don't care what I'm.
I'll catch one next week for
Wednesday.
The real one.
Pulse.
Pulse. Kristen Bell, not Christian Bell. When I was Batman.
Let it go. Let it go.
Vengeance.
Bitches. Right? Remember, folks? Always been the bad guy.